Bad Pippi. What are your memories of Shark Boy returning to TNA in 2008 as a Stone Cold Steve Austin ripoff?
Who asked this question? Bippy.
Bad Pippi.
Oh, Bad Pippi. Well, Pippi, I love Shark Boy, and I thought his Stone Cold Steve Austin impression was spot on. And I love that guy. But he worked a lot of places, but he never really became a member of the territory, so to speak, until I don't think he ever called on anywhere. But he had the tools. He had and I loved him when he started doing Stone Cold because that stood out. So he did that for a while. It was good. And I don't know why he didn't catch on more in other places than the times that I saw him. But I loved his work.
Did you come up with any words for him, like "give me a shell, yeah," or anything like that?
Well, I had some. I said, "Hey, I did have some for him." It was just shrimp was one of them. Flounder. Don't flounder around. And I had a few more, and we started throwing those back every now and then. And I said, "You want to do an interview?" And you use flounder and shrimp, and I don't know what else I put in there, but we actually had an interview when he had all the names of fish in there or seafood, but I can't remember what it was now. But he's very funny, very humorous, and great personality. I like that guy a lot.
Did you ever get a call from Steve Austin, like at the time, go, "Hey, what's going on out there?" You know what I mean? Like actually just gimmick infringement and a bit put out by it, maybe.
Well, no, I never got a call from him like that, but I don't remember talking to him on the phone, really. I just saw him at the TNA tapings, and we're there for 2 days.
Steve Austin calling you.
Oh, Steve Austin?
Yeah.
He did call me one time to do his podcast. This was years ago. I was already with the WWE, I think, and he was getting his podcast going, and I think he asked for me to be on his podcast. I wish he'd asked me now to be on his podcast, but he was just getting it started there, and it was his idea for me to do it because I wrote about him in my book that you can purchase by. No, but he was sent to me in Memphis, and I didn't even know who he was. I was booking at the time, and it was like December or something, and this was later on after WWE had kind of taken over all the territories. Business was horrible. So, and he came in. Have I told this story?
I think on a previous podcast, yes. Shall I refer to people to the clip? It's on the Storytime with Dutch Mantell YouTube channel. But
anyway, he came in. I didn't know him. We got in an argument. I gave him the name. He went out there. He had a match. It wasn't that good. He wasn't that bad though. And he came back and, "How'd you like my match?" And, "Oh, what was wrong with my match?" I said, "It'd be a lot easier to tell you what was right with it," because I'm just kidding him. And it didn't hurt his feelings. He didn't give a crap. And I told him, I said, "I want you to watch every match every night till you leave here." And I walked by about an hour later, and there he was. He'd already taken a shower. He was sitting there watching every match every night. And he said, "That's how I learned to do stuff. I started watching. I became a serious student of what I wanted to do." And he says, thinking back, it's probably some of the greatest advice I ever got. So he knew that he had done a move in his match. If he sees a move in the next match, he would go up the next night and said, "Oh, I'll do that move a little later. So I just want to tell you." And but he would watch but when he started going on later, he would watch the earlier matches. So he wouldn't do what they would do because the people had already seen it. Now that's very hard not to do a move that another guy does because, other than the basic moves, I mean, the arm drags and the takeovers and legs and, the tackles and the tickles and the tackles and all that. But he watched that and he said, okay, I'll resequence that so it's not the same thing. So he studied the business. Not that he used it in his matches, because later on he didn't have to use them because the character, it took precedence over everything. And see, a lot of guys work what the guys call great workers, but they were great ticket sellers. And that's what people look for. Screw the rest of them when it comes to making money. I don't give a crap where you know how to a headlock from a wristwatch. If you can get people to buy tickets, you're on my card.